A 1-1 split between Fnatic and Hellraisers. We now head over to mousesports versus Heroic. Two equal skilled teams, but also a lot of firepower on both rosters. Again, joining me is John Allen, and this one's going to be a little more interesting. We kick things off with Nuke, obviously a massively favorable map for Heroic. How do you see this map going?
As you said, favorable for Heroic. I think they're just going to come through. They have shown a lot of prowess on this map before, and hopefully, I mean, honestly, to be fair, all predictions at this point, I'm a stay away because
yeah, the last few days haven't been too good.
Some crazy games going this way and that way, completely against intuition. But yeah, I think we're going to be back on firm, solid ground with this one. Heroic should win.
Yeah, very confident straight out the gate. I think this one's a little more of an equal matchup. Typically, we've had kind of like massive underdog wins, you know, where Hellraisers versus FaZe or LDLC versus G2, and it's just like these teams shouldn't be winning. But I think this one's a pretty 50-50, 60-40 anyway.
I meant on Nuke, not specifically over the match.
I think this series is generally close anyway. So I don't think, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the victor, I still think this is going to be a fun match. Again, Heroic, a team that have been looking good. Obviously, they lost Valde. A lot of people thought they kind of fall back into irrelevance again. But the pickup of S-Tag, while hasn't been maybe as good as Valde, Heroic have still been performing. They've still been putting up numbers and still been doing fairly well. In EPL as well, not the best performance so far, but we're early days. mousesports as well, currently sitting 13th on the board, if I'm correct, right above Na'Vi. So again, not a lot to go off of there. A good team, great performance. Recently just came back off a win at Mykonos, and now they're bottoming out in Pro League. Who really knows? Everything's a dream at this point. Nothing makes sense.
It's very sort of a weird situation. We were just saying in the downtime, we've had some very strange games. I'm really just hoping for a good game of Counter-Strike where both of these teams put their best foot forwards and someone just outplays someone else, rather than slip-ups and errors and things like that making these games driving them forwards. I want to see plays happening rather than mistakes being made.
Yeah, definitely, and I hope we have that as well going into the first map. So let's talk about that a little bit. Nuke, obviously a map that Heroic has 7 out of 8 wins on it in the last 3 months. This is a great map for the Danes. Very rarely do we get to see them play it just because it's always the insta-ban of the other team, but I assume that Mouse maybe went with a ban of their own to get a map that they don't like, so Heroic don't pick it, or something of that line. So it's nice to see these guys back on that map. Again, it's always really fun to see Danes on Nuke, you know, that's kind of where they're known. We saw Astralis have a long streak at playing it very well as well earlier this year. Obviously, this is one that mousesports aren't as comfortable on, 4 out of 7 in the recent history. So yeah, they've got some wins on it. Most of them not against great teams by any means, but I still feel like this is still a close matchup, because maybe what Mouse lacks in actually having the ability to play the map in the same way as Heroic, they sure make up for in firepower.
They have had some very good rounds. Their players obviously very talented, but I think Nuke is a map where it all comes down to rotations. It all comes down to how you know the map. And because it's one of those weird sort of unique maps in its verticality and its sort of just in general map layout, knowing the map, I think, is going to be slightly more important than those one-on-ones. Yeah,
of course. It's so dependent on knowing your setups and knowing what to do if each player gets picked. So especially on the CT side, right, for example, if Heroic setup, they've got a double ramp player or a solo ramp player. They've got the 3A typical 1 garage setup, which is normally what we see on the CT side, and they lose the ramp player. They need to know exactly what they do. The second the ramp player goes down, we see the garage player rotate to hell. We see an A player drop down through vents. They need to know instantly on the fly what they're going to be doing, given the situation, given where the picks come in for mousesports. So as long as we see that, as long as we see them playing to their game as they always do on this map, it should be a really fun one to kick things off. And we're straight in. mousesports full armor on the CT side, Heroic a fair bit of utility, as you would expect.
That Molotov could come in very handy, and a smoke going in early. Aggression from Sunny, actually finding the backstab, being backed up as well, so they're just going to be able to open the frags, and they're just coming in left, right, and center. These flanks just from everybody coming in massive for both sides already. 3 players now left alive as Sunny takes another for himself. He's going to find the end of that one. Snappy does fall down. Rops able to trade it back now. It's just Snappy, and he gets shut down as well. Chris J means mousesports take the pistol round.
Yeah, clean 1-0 there. Bit messy at the start, but I like the fast ramp flank. Again, throwing that in on the pistol round, and mousesports trying to get off to an early lead and just catch out Heroic going for that A-side setup, which they certainly do. Their smokes are being deployed and mousesports were already in the lobby. So really nice to see a bit different. You don't typically see that on the CT side. And Heroic, they're going to be forcing things up now. So full CZs across the board again. mousesports, not a lot of weaponry. They've got SMGs in play, only one M4 and ROPs. So this is, again, going to be potential for upset for Heroic coming into this round, potential for them to pick it up with the force buy, but they don't have a lot of smokes to work with, so it's just going to be a quick A-flash and a quick burst here from the T side.
Stucco playing on the site has the SMG, and it's just going to do so much damage. The UMP as well, raining down, and they're just going to close this one out. Able to frag one, but not too much more than that. The bomb has been dropped on site. Snappy has the CZ, fallen back to lobby. And has to just play passive, try and get any damage down that he can, try and get a single frag. He's going to be coming up against two players if he decides to push out a squeaky, but thinks better of it, rotates back away, and they know exactly where he is. They're hearing the footsteps. He knows exactly that they know exactly where he is, and they're all sort of just waiting for someone to make the first move. A minute left on the clock. The bomb's not anywhere to be seen, so it's pretty much just a matter of time before Snappy goes down for me. Does go for the shot, but Oscar wins it out.
Yeah, very clean for mousesports considering the messy buy they threw into that. Obviously, the SMGs were very good close ranges. Heroic darted out of the hut, but lucky for mousesports, because, again, if Heroic threw in something like a ramp play somewhere where they didn't have a lot of defense, we could have seen an upset there. Score, odds, as expected, I'd say, coming into this one.
This is specifically for Nuke, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would probably put it a little bit closer to Heroic.
Yeah, again, mousesports just have that firepower, and I don't think S-Tag makes up for the loss of Valdi on this team. I feel like that makes more sense. Maybe a little more favor for Heroic, but not by a massive margin at all. This is in favor of mousesports overall. But again, it's a close series, so we'll see what happens. Stiko doesn't realize that he's actually pushed into Snappy's face, and he'll go down, getting glocked to death. An MP9 grabbed over for the T's, but with no armor to put that on, they are going to have a rough time trying to get anything done. Sunny's only on a USP as he just looks to save for a little bit more money, and it's going to be down to players like Oscar to do the damage. That he will, but look at the return.
They're able to get the refrag. That nade will drop them very low. They do have a distinct lack of HP, and as you said before, Sunny, only on that USP is going to be that much more effective on those low HP targets. And he's now picked up a UMP, so he does have a little bit more firepower. And he's looking to take the challenge as they start to turn the corner. They're lining up, they're getting ready. They only have one flash to play with, so where they choose to use that, it comes through, but then down from the heavens, Rops gets the shots that he needs, the spray down from the M4, and they allow one player, Snappy, through towards B. He's just rushing for the plant at this point. If they manage to get that, that's actually a really good pickup, but he hears Sunny, and Sunny hears him. He's just going to be able to shut that one down. mousesports, 3 rounds on the board.
Yeah, good CT start, but now we see the buy come up from Heroic. Quick pause called in, as Heroic are actually going to have a drop on the server, one player falling out, so we'll be waiting for them to rejoin again before we go for this buy. So obviously full AK is coming in. mousesports be interesting to see if they commit to the bonus round or if they actually buy up M4s instead of playing with all these SMGs, a scout, etc. Because obviously 3-0 lead, not enough to pull in the AWP, for example, to get over the scout. Probably expecting to just see the scout, and again, mousesports probably a team that do like to play these bonus rounds. They like SMGs, so I'm not going to be surprised if we see a couple of UMPs in play, some MP9s, etc. But we'll see as we just wait for Heroic to bring their final player back on the server and see what they can throw in for their first round on the T side.
Well, their first attempt at the right round.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Thank you.
But I think we should clarify it for the people at home so that everyone knows what you mean. Doing all right? Having a good time? I'm having a good time. Having a good time, Carson.
I believe you have to try.
Versus, yeah, that's all right. I'm sure you get your own back at some point.
Oh, I've been doing that all week.
Yeah, exactly. So, in fact, this is me getting my own back.
I can't hold you to it.
Exactly.
So official prediction was for Heroic, you said, for this map?
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident that...
Now all going back on your word?
I'm still confident. It's only 3 rounds in. Only 3 rounds in.
All right.
And as we've seen before, like all of these teams, they're very capable of having these upset performances, I should say. And it's just, yeah, it's just going to come through. So the full rifles from Heroic mean that they are going to have the advantage when it comes to the firepower. And Oscar picking up something that we haven't seen so far at all.
Yeah, P90. Very rarely does this get bought up because it's so expensive, but We'll see if it has any effect. It's pretty damaging as well, and you know it can do work, but it's just inconsistent. I find the P90.
It's a lot of money. I mean, essentially it's like the UMP, but just more money.
On the CT side, it makes more sense because obviously on the T side, you can just get an AK for a few $100s more, but the M4s are $800 more than that P90. So yeah, it makes some sense. But let's see if he can do anything with it because his teammates are all dead. As Nico starts to push in, he'll just wallbang him out. It's actually S-Tag to find that frag, and Rops from the heavens can only get one and done. Chris J catching out more with the scout as you would expect on this player, but he's left in a very tough spot.
Playing up close now, the bomb gets planted up on the A site. Last man left standing, picks up the AK, so he does have a little bit more firepower, turns the headshot on, and now he needs to find both of these players remaining. mousesports have their hope in Chris J. Looks for the spray, finds the last headshot, looks for another one, and Chris J clutches it out. mousesports take a 4th round, and Heroic are going to be left with no money whatsoever, destitute in the dust. mousesports coming in strong, and that firepower you're talking about certainly showing up.
I mean, you say no money, but they do get the bomb down with 4-round loss bonus, so they will actually be able to put in AKs into this. It's not going to be great on utility, and we won't see an AWP up in the hands of Yugi, but again, this is enough to buy through. The issue is, mousesports winning that bonus round with not a lot to play with now can fully invest. Now they have the raw rifles, so Heroic can't even exploit them. They had their opportunity, but Chris J pulls in an incredible clutch there. Just not what you would expect coming into this game. A 1v4 now. mousesports are going to be leading this 4-0 on the CT side. As soon as Heroic get an opportunity to get themselves into this game, it gets swiftly taken away from them.
Unfortunate for them as Chris J pulls a rabbit out the hat. Straight in their faces. They have to come back into this one now. They have their chance. They have the flashbang. They're executing onto A. Now they need to take care of these players playing up high. Otherwise, they're just going to get rained down on. And that's exactly what happens as mousesports just clean out the push from Heroic. Not a chance in hell on that one.
Yeah, 1 kill coming in from S-Tag. That's all we'll see from this T side. Interestingly enough, we're seeing Chris J on the AWP, though. That's something surprising. Obviously, he can do it. He was, at one point, the AWP player for this team. I mean, we've got 3 former AWPers, or current AWPers. Sunny, Chris J, and Oscar all have AWPed or do AWP as the primary for a team at one point. So, yeah, we've got a lot of AWPing power into this team. And surprised to see it over Oscar, as that's not very common, but hey, Chris J's already off to a blinding start so far this map, so I barely question it as he sits in the garage, smokes down for outside. Heroic can split their way down through Secret, but Oscar's going to be down here with an AK, so again, a tough man to fare against as he sits on the stairwell, waiting for them to push on through, but he gets dinked in the air as well. Snappy will finish off the job with the CZ, but it's Rops down on B for the support to pick one back up. Sunny's rotation through the vents does do some damage as well, and this will leave just Yugi. Knows where the players are, sorry, and as the bomb dropped as well, but he's mollied out. And that tick, that burn will give away his position, so mousesports know exactly where he's playing as he retrieves an AK, but I don't know if he's realised.
If he wants to win this, he's got to believe in the heart of the cards. And don't think he really has anything left in his deck. He's just going to have to fall back onto the B-bomb site. Chris J draws OTK and shuts him down. Heroic take the loss again. mousesports just racking up these rounds time after time, and Heroic, they have full loss bonus now, so they can just buy every round at this point. But mousesports are just putting their nose to the grindstone and really putting in the work.
Yeah, a really good start into this map, but again, it is CT Nuke, so as soon as Heroic start getting some rounds on the board and just can, cancel out the mousesports economy, that's when we'll probably see this game start to equal up, but it needs to happen soon. Because again, 7-0, if Heroic aren't planting bombs each round, they're going to be eco, so it's very important they either get the bomb down or take the round win at this point, because 3,400 is not enough to fully buy up every round unless you have a little bit spare cash. Now smoke set up for the A site again. They break open the windows. The mousesports are prepared. We have Stiko up in the heavens. Not a lot of support up top, but we do have Oscar playing close as well. And actually Chris J rotating in with the AWP. So already mousesports, Chris J commits to it, have a triple setup on this A bomb site. And that's definitely enough to hold down against Heroic, but they've yet to commit.
Slowing it down. They are actually taking a lot more of a passive approach. A lot of players playing up high and trying to stop those positions from coming in up top, which is what has shut them down before. So they're looking to execute onto the A site after having thrown in those Molotovs, thrown in that utility, and already we're seeing that start to come through. Chris J falls early. Sunny able to trade it back outside, and that stops the heaven flank, but they're still pushing on. But Oscar's ready and waiting with the double spray down, and for A1S is going to kick some proverbial on Heroic.
Yeah, this is a really dominant start to this map. I was not expecting this kind of scoreline from mousesports, and obviously, as I said, Heroic, they need a bomb plant every round, otherwise they're going to be down on the eco, and it's going to be a half investment. Like, max loss still in effect, so they can just do this and buy up every other round, essentially, until they eventually win. Even then, they're still in hot water because mousesports can get that reset, but Modi misses that smoke. Not a good way to start things off. It's Heroic. No control, they lose S-Tag in the meantime. Nico will respond with the Deagle outside. It's a small consolation because still these CTs are riddling the Ts with bullets. Snappy follows up with another Deagle shot, so actually damage being done. And Modi's doing well because he's at 75 as well, with the bomb dropped from the heavens and down to main as these CTs bring it back into a 2-on-2.
Pushing up, they do have control of the bomb. As you said, it got dropped outside, but here's Nico looking for the shots. Rops comes out on top, and now they just have one player left alive, but he's picked himself up an AK. Rops holding on top of the bomb, trying to spot out any information. They do know where he is, where he could go, and so he's just going to be able to stand and watch those angles. A minute left on the clock, so enough time to rotate around, but Rops very switched on here, knows that he's going to be pushing up and trying to go for the elevated aggression. Gets dropped down before getting spotted out, but now the sound comes through, and Rops should have heard that drop. Bomb spotted out. Playing slow, playing safe. Rops waiting for that aggression.
Oh,
and we'll turn the corner. Here we go. Yep, here's the kill. Headshot comes through, and Heroic take another round down. mousesports 8-0. I think now I'm going to officially recount my prediction.
We are early days. The game's not over. It's 8-0.
That was my line. You know, I'm recounting my prediction. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it is still early days.
It is early days. Again, as soon as Heroic start, getting 1 or 2 rounds on the T side, maybe we'll see them start to, battle down onto the mousesports economy. As long as they can keep it low in these buys for the time being, eventually they might be able to get into this one. I'm not counting this out just yet. This is Heroic. This is the map that Heroic love to play again. So it's just an unfortunate start, and mousesports showing off their new firepower on this roster. So let's give it some time. Chris J wrapping in through lower. We've got Sunny playing close outside, and this is quite a weak outside control here for mousesports. They don't have a lot of information either to play off of, so Sunny's basically just got to stay alive here and try and catch any info he can. There's the first. Nico dead. Damage onto S-Tag as well, but the trade has been found. And this position now from Chris J becomes even more valuable. As he's down B, he can at least call if they want to split down towards this side of the map. Alternatively, Oscar, he holds the cross to make sure they don't wrap in through the heavens. And nothing will be spotted, so Chris J's definitely going to be on warning here, just in case these guys start to push down towards that B side. But Heroic are just holding outside. They slow it down after that 4v4 and wait to see if they can find a pick, but Snappy's already wrapped.
He has position over the heavens, and now Chris J has to push up from Secret, able to get the pick off, but they already have control over this A bomb site. 3 of the players pushed out completely towards the outside. Rops playing in hell, starting to aggress up the ladder, looking for the backstab onto Snappy. The flashbang is perfect, lands the headshot, and now he has control up the heaven. The player also wrapping in, but there we go. S-Tag able to shut down Chris J, trying to play sneaky through the vents, and that's a lot of damage coming through. They have 1 player left standing, and it's Rops versus the world. Well, versus the world, I say 1. S-Tag trying to go for the face, and it's going to be Rops again to just close it out. And mousesports cannot be beaten here on Nuke.
The teamwork there from mousesports is impeccable. We see the flashbang up, allowing Rops to push up the ladder, taking the kill. The Molotov into hut, and then the flash to follow. We see a double peek in heaven to take down the next player on the site, Modi. And just one by one, mousesports just take down Heroic. And every time we see a kill come in from Heroic, it's instantly traded from mousesports. Really, really good stuff from that CT side, and it's showing from the scoreline. 9-0. Tactical pause and Heroic, definitely a good time to call it in, but again, what is even happening here? This is the Heroic guys' map pick. This is where they should be shining.
Yeah, and I expected them to. Obviously, I'm eating my words now, but yeah, the tactical pause really coming through. Obviously, Nuke being a CT-sided map, just in general anyway, I'm expecting mousesports to have a favorable half, given that they are just very strong players, but I did not expect this sort of shoddier performance from Heroic. They haven't been able to put any dent into the mousesports defense. Chris J coming up with that brilliant round is really, I think, what started to snowball them. That 1 versus 4 retake and defuse, that really put the pedal to the metal.
I mean, if Heroic picked up that round, they would have actually forced mousesports into a force buy situation. So that could have been them instantly on the board. 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Who even knows how many it could have spiraled out of control here for Heroic. But because of that clutch, now we see mousesports in a favorable position, but not this round, as Yugi and S-Tag going to open things up. And off the back of those picks, they charge into A. Only Stiko left on defense, and he'll have to go huge. 2 kills, but it's not enough, because again, the man advantage retained for Heroic. Rop's unable to get back into heaven. He's mollied out onto the catwalk and down to 30 HP in the process. 2 players left for the mousesports side. They may even consider the save here with the bomb going down.
They don't. They should have a very strong economy, so I would be surprised if they needed to go for the save, but yeah, that 5k, they do want to just make sure they have got a plenty of rounds as a buffer. So I mean, 9-0, you're not too worried about giving over a round, and potentially make sure that Heroic actually get forced back down on the reset if they're able to take the round in reply. So, you know, it is pretty sensible here to save. They don't need to go for this aggression, and maybe limiting Heroic's economy even further could give them a better advantage moving forward into the half.
Well, no deaths on the post plant. Everyone holds on to their weapons, so Heroic still make a positive amount of money into the next round as we see mousesports continue to buy. And yeah, I mean, 9 rounds in a row, but look at where their economy stands. It's good. It's not great. I'm surprised to see Oscar up on the UMP despite, you know, everyone being able to drop him, but maybe looking to play close squeaky, for example, or close hut, just get aggressive and in the faces where the SMG will prevail. It's Heroic. 1 round on the board. Can't afford to be reset here. They need to wrap together 2. We do see Oscar playing close in main. I think that is, as Rob sits up on ramp. He's alone. A bit of aggression from him. And Heroic, they just set up inside of the lobby for the time being. Roof control as well, but nothing too special coming out from this T side, as they don't put anyone towards the outside position. They know how these AWPers play for the mousesports side. Don't want to lose anyone early on. It's actually a good angle for Rops to catch a quick kill. Molly sneaks up into ramp, and he's going to get beheaded. So first kill going the way of mousesports, already falling back down towards B off the back of that pick. And now Heroic just going to charge and try and chase.
Rops, they get dropped down on, finds 1, but the frag comes back. Now, 2 players taken off of the mousesports side means that it is even on the player numbers, 3 versus 3, aggressing in towards this B bomb site. They do have the advantage because the rotates haven't come through yet, but Chris J starts to push on towards for the retake, spotting out those players, should hear this drop if it does come through, but Yugi has an inkling and does a little bit of damage over onto Chris J. No, sorry, he didn't get any damage onto Chris J.
It looked like that wallbang would have done something, though.
Yeah.
The wallbang was perfect. It's just I didn't know that wall wasn't penetrable. Either way, Chris J back into the site. Shot onto Yugi, and 2 players left standing with S-Tag low. Utility so good for mousesports here. There's no way they should be able to lose this round as they come back in. But S-Tag strikes, and despite being low, he hits his shot, takes down Chris J, and removes that AWP. They're sticking the bomb. Oh my god, Stiko! He just smoked it off and jumps right on it. It's mousesports to find the round, saving the AWP, and there's the reset.
That is devastating for Heroic. They needed that round, absolutely, but they're going to be chucking all their money here into the round. They will be able to buy full AKs, so it's not disastrous for this round, but mousesports might not be able to read this one too well. They might be thinking they're coming up against a full eco team, especially if they slammed on the reset.
No, after a reset, you always force buy down, especially with the bomb plant money giving you extra cash. So mousesports know what they're up against. They know that at least some AKs will be bought up, maybe not full. That might surprise them. But again, we've had so much loss bonus go the way of Heroic. They've never been struggling for cash into any of these rounds. And they're going to push fast outside. The utility giving away their buy a little bit. Sunny just holds a split into main, doesn't allow them to push in there, but the smoke is down, so Heroic not even looking to take control. Sunny moves back more passive, and he takes 1, but he's cornered. He's alone, and S-Tag will finally strike back down, so Heroic, they pull it into a 4v4, but off the back of that, we see some aggression from Oscar. He starts to wrap back round towards Secret. He doesn't matter, though. As Heroic are picking up kills on all sides of the map. Oscar's going to get 1, but it's not enough. Again, he's tagged up. Rops only does damage to Snappy, and Heroic have the A-bomb site.
2 players left standing. Oscar very low on HP. Rops really the powerhouse that needs to be the catalyst to push on towards this site, and he's going to be playing from heaven. Snappy is waiting, and that position has been mollied out as well. The smoke just going to dissuade them from really going for anything. I wouldn't be surprised if yet again they went for a save here. If they chose to just go for those exit frags, waited to try and spawn out what was going on. Snappy reads that, and as that happens, Oscar does fall, has the AWP now, so he is indeed just going to save that. Watches for the shot, and Snappy snaps it through as he is just going to have his life taken away. Heroic take the round, but mousesports do plenty of damage to the economy as 3 players go down, 2 players left standing, and mousesports still have a very good half, 10 rounds already.
Yeah, I mean, even if this ends 10-5, mousesports aren't going to be complaining, considering this is Heroic again. Just to clarify, this is a map that Heroic have won 7 out of the last 8 matches they played on. So it's a massive surprise to see the scoreline so heavily in the favor of mousesports. Even if they were to pick it up, I would expect this game to be a little bit closer. But now Heroic are maybe starting to get some rounds on this T side. If they can bring this back to a decent half, 4-5 rounds, maybe we could see something on their CT side.
Fast down the vents. They are just looking at this B-bomb site, mouths drooling. They have taken it, and they have the ability to get the plant. Rops has rotated down, but he's taken damage already. He's backed off there. Chris J, though, is going to be able to get the frag with the AWP. And another one to follow as they just start their rotate in, and they're just so deadly accurate with these shots. Heroic can't stand up to them, and mousesports just pushing through. Oscar finds another one. Now just 2 people standing. They need to get these frags. Finally, one comes through, but not for nothing, as they do just trade it straight back out. Oscar gets the kill. Now it's just Snappy left. He is going to spot one out. Tries to go for it, but the spray comes through the door. Rops able to pick that one up. They have plenty of time to go for this defuse with their defuse kit, and he is just going to pick that one up. mousesports 11-2, and now Heroic really need to do something special to come back into this game.
Yeah, this is not Heroic's favourite game, apparently, as now we see them trying to force things down after that reset comes in again for mousesports. If we look at the scoreboard, we can just see Heroic, the only time they actually pick up T-side rounds, they just get counter reset straight away by mousesports. They are putting so much damage in. So double AK, triple pistol, 2 of them being CZs. Mousesports definitely favoured moving forward here. 11 on the CT side, looking to make it 12 into round 14 at the half. And an attempt at fast pushing A, but the Molotov from Oscar is perfect. He hears the flank, but he doesn't hit the shot. It's S-Tag to do damage as well onto Sunny. If he had more ammo, he could have taken that kill, but Sunny needs to get a couple of frags. Luckily, he will be supported by Chris J, so both of them get 1, but Snappy's still alive. Chris J drops the bomb down vents, but they can go and retrieve that. One of Rops will let them know as he holds the cross. Yugi in the edge of the smoke. It's just coming down to the timing. He avoids his view, but Rops finally moves on in to take the kill, leaving just Moddy.
He goes down, no problem, no bother. mousesports take 12 rounds, and now Heroic have absolutely nothing here, and I'm expecting a 13-2 half.
Yeah.
And a pistol round will be the decider to see if Heroic can stay in the game. They are really going to struggle into the second half if they aren't able to pick it up.
Rops is 18-2 so far in this map. That is absolutely ridiculous. Wow. Nico has 1 kill on Heroic. In my opinion, the best player on this team, 1 kill. Or up there with Yugi. Sorry, maybe, yeah, let's go second best player. I'd say Yugi is the best for this team, but yeah, 1 kill for Nico, not exactly characteristic of him, especially not on Nuke. And Rops 18-2, doing a damn good job, I must say.
Pats on the back all round. Nico trying to redeem himself, pushing in through Secret, able to get a little bit of a flank off, but they should be ready and waiting for that one. Sunny just smokes off any pushes coming from that direction. A little bit of damage going over onto Moddy, 50 HP taken down already, and armor across the board means that if they do get those frags, if they do get maybe 2 picks, they're able to go for those guns, to pick them up, to repurpose them, and could potentially be in with a relatively strong round, but that's a tall order, especially against a team like mousesports that you've been having such trouble against so far.
Sunny. Oh, could be walking to his death here. Plenty of pistols, but he lines up 1, spraying away for more, and he gets 2. 2 for 1's not too bad, especially considering mousesports have so many weapons to work with, and losing players doesn't matter in terms of economy, because again, this is the last of the half. One rifle thrown over to Yugi though, and that's a dangerous feat in and of itself. Rops needs to be careful now as he's alone down B. Stika rotates up the fence, but he doesn't expect this position from Modi. Doesn't matter, hits a shot well damaged anyway, and Oscar trades out the kill, but it's Yugi on the M4 we finally see to strike. Issue is, bombs up on A, and he's got a long rotation to make. Vent is never easy to come back up when the CTs are holding it, so with 15 seconds left, I'm going to say a ballsy prediction, this should be mousesports round.
Is that really a ballsy prediction? Is it really? He just runs into the fire and gives up.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, fair enough. So mousesports with a absolutely dominating half. We'll see if Heroic can come back into it. I'm pretty skeptical, but we'll check it out after the break.
Welcome back. Map number 1, half number 2. mousesports looking to close it out. And Heroic, not a lot of options. They're onto the full arm, but same for both teams. Confidence across the board and defeat. As Heroic are not looking too happy into this map. As we can see already, mousesports just setting up inside the lobby, holding off for aggression. Lovely odds.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Like, we can't really have
the
farms on that.
defeat in your voice there after your heroic prediction. The defeat. Poor you. To be fair, I don't think anyone expected this kind of scoreline.
You never do. And you never really expect stomps. Like, you sort of never will read into that.
Matches.
I mean, mousesports with the opening frag, but are we really surprised?
No, Stiko is going to be picking up that first kill there, and now we see mousesports in the driving seat, as they already have been this entire game.
Well, there's a fire extinguisher there. Maybe Heroic can use it to put out the burning fire that is their performance here on Nuke. But the attempt at A site comes through, gets shut down pretty quickly, but they have actually able to trade out the frags here. Now, mousesports have 2 players left alive. They are just going to be against Yugi, as you said, one of the better players on the roster, but doesn't manage to land the shot. Now mousesports 14-2. They have won the pistol round. They need to win the next 2, and Heroic have to force up into this one. There's really no choice.
No, I think they should fully go the next couple of rounds. You know, go for that full buy.
Sure.
Oh dear, not a lot of options at all, as we have been saying. mousesports playing confidently as well. I like this. Just don't go for these silly SMG buys where you get 3-4 SMGs, which seems so many teams lose as well. Go safe. Get triple rifle. Get double UMP. That's fine. You know, 2 UMPs is fine. I think that should be a max. Going into maps like Nuke when you have CT-sided halves. But either way, already the first kill from Chris J, and Oscar's found himself in the vents, maybe joined swiftly by Snappy's rotation, but he just sits next to Hut, not eager to chase after him. I don't even know if he actually heard Oscar go down. So right now, there's a thorn in the side of mousesports. Modi just going to be aware of the potential, but Oscar still might be able to catch him off guard. Snappy, talking of catching off guard, takes down Chris J, and Modi as well with the CZ. Are we going to see Heroic pick up an eco?
I mean, it's always potential, as Yugi finds yet another, not able to be traded out either. So 2 AKs now left. So they have got very, very strong firepower going into this matchup, 3 versus 2. But the Deagle and the Scout, both those one-shot headshots, able to just bring so much power. If they're able to win those trades, go for those sneaky little peeks. mousesports now rotating towards ramp and looking to put pressure towards this B site. Pretty much, well, I say for the first time in this half, there's only been 1 round in the half, so I mean, that's fair enough. S-Tag does a lot of damage over onto Sunny, so they're already taking them very low, and that allows the UMP to start to come in and be a factor. That allows them to start to push in and really try and get some sort of a pick going on, and if they manage to get one, the other is pretty much sure to follow as they start to aggress here.
Yeah, the time's running out though, that's the issue, and they've not gone anywhere near the plant. Modi on the site, just going to be able to shut down 2, and Heroic, they've done it. Is this the full comeback that we've been waiting for, John? Is this going to happen?
No.
Okay, very sure of yourself. Well, at least they'll get 4, because mousesports don't have the money to fight this one back. They could force, and they probably will, but I'm not expecting a win from them by any means. And are they going to eco this one? No, okay, good. I'd be a bit confused if they did. Putting money in CZs, Tech-9s, PT-50s, the full Monty here for mousesports, but it's still a charity shot by as Heroic rock out with the rifles, and triple UMP is going to be great for this anti-eco, considering the lack of armor, and specifically head armor on the side of mousesports. We've got a couple of players worm their way outside, or that's at least just Sunny, but we've already got some control down to B, so even if he pushes down, there's going to be defense, and they're not going to let him down easily. That's Yuki there. S-Tag's the first one to open it up. It's EA burst here for the T side, but they're not having a lot of control.
He needed to hit more kills than that, as mousesports are just going to start to push in, do a lot of damage to this CT side. Chris J hits another headshot, but Oscar is the last to fall. Finally, Heroic closed that one out, but 3 kills going over for mousesports. They save the 2 rifles, but that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, now the full eco. They can't invest more than $1 on 3 of these players, pretty much. I mean, Rops, I guess, can go for a PT-50, but I want to just see them save. Just go for the full eco, rush A, lose your round. This is not an impactful round at all for mousesports. A PT-50 on Sunny, not the end of the world. But yeah, this is Heroics. Chris, you okay there, buddy?
He's just having a little sleep.
Oh, he's bought up. Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. Cool.
Sure, why not? Let's have a look.
$850. Unless he's playing with Scout next round, which would actually make some sense, but...
Or maybe a Mac 10?
I mean, we saw Flusher do it in a buy round at 14-15, so anything's possible.
Well, that possibility seems to be coming through Squeaky. Snappy will be holding the angle. Ready and waiting. Yugi, meanwhile, does get the kill, but the door opens and the shooting gallery begins, and he just shuts them down. mousesports are just going to be wiped off the server. 5 rounds now for Heroic, and they're starting to gain a little bit of momentum. You know, a little bit of, oh, we can do a little bit better than 15-3. But
yeah,
how much better is the question?
16-5. No, I'm joking. Again, this is totally doable for Heroic. This is the map of Heroic, for those who don't know. You know, obviously we don't get released the actual picks and bans, etc., the format, but this is what Heroic love to play, and it's no surprise that they want to be on this map, despite the scoreline being pretty negative. If they can just, you know, kind of crunch out the first few rounds and make mousesports realize they're up against good competition, this is definitely doable. I'm being serious. They could come back here. Obviously, it's always possible in a match, but I'd say with Heroic moving to CT side Nuke, it's even more likely. It's a long road, though, and they can't afford to make many mistakes. They only have a 2-round buffer before mousesports take the victory, and only 1 before they have to pull it back to OT and then win. But let's take it round by round. When Heroic get up to double digits, then I'll start considering this as a probability.
When and if they do.
If.
mousesports still yet to take any sort of real foothold into the map. They've just been playing around lobby and the first fringes of outside so far, and they've already ticked the clock down to under a minute. Starting to sort of develop their position now, as Yugi will be able to spot out the first face here. If Sunny takes the peek incorrectly, and he does, he's going to go down, and he's just going to fall back, take that frag, and say, thank you very much. We know a little bit about what's going on, and, well, they're actually going to trade it back. Snappy gets one as well, so keeping that one-man advantage. mousesports left with 3 players, 2 AKs, and that UMP pushing onto Modi now.
Stiko's in a crucial position because he's wrapped himself into hell, but it's Modi on ramp actually doing the damage they don't expect. He finds one, doesn't realize they're coming from the other side though, but he'll be ready to shut them down as they fall on in, and the bodies will fall as Modi finds 2 more kills. 3 in the round and Heroic on 6. They start to build up a bank on the CT side, and mousesports just calling in a pause, I imagine. This is good, at least not letting this get to their heads, not letting Heroic just start to dominate back into the game. Take a quick pause, kind of slow down the momentum. Of course, they've not got to buy here, but they can put in half their money. They've got about 3.5k on some of these guys. So yeah, a couple of thousand, pistols, armor, some utility, and then go for the buy next round. And that's when things get serious again. But as we said, this is always doable for Heroic.
We saw a very similar momentum train for mousesports in the first half. We saw them just completely clean out. They were at 8-0 at one point, and then obviously that 1 round coming in, and then a total of 3 rounds being picked up total for Heroic on their T side. Now it seems like CT is their playground. They are really starting to do very, very good things, but they're still at this massive deficit. It's a mountain to climb, and well, they've got their climbing gear on, but it's not quite done yet. They still have to reach the summit.
Well, let's see if they can do that. Pistols up, bit of armor for mousesports, but again, not expecting too much into this round. Oscar's not even got a pistol, he's got a Glock, which I don't count as a pistol. That gun's terrible. A couple of flashes in play, and Heroic full rifles playing no funny games. As we see the flashes set up outside, mousesports looking to burst, but already damage done. We see Chris J and Stiko tagged up, S-Tag just doing damage towards the outside. Rob's first entry, but again, we should be expecting trades here from the CT side, and more than that, as they just shut down these guys. Stiko should get the plant down towards B. There's no one fast rotating through the ramp, so a bit more money for mousesports is going to be nice in the pocket, but again, they invested more than $800 each, so technically that's not really a win. They just kind of make the best out of a bad situation. 7 rounds for Heroic as the defuse comes in. mousesports back on the buy, but this is starting to close. This is starting to get closer.
Certainly is. They have had a very, very strong showing so far. That line of defense from Heroic and the discipline rotates back off from when they get those picks are really doing very, very well. And that shows in the fact that their economy is starting to build up very, very heavily. I mean, we've got 7k, 6k across the board for Heroic. mousesports, though, they are now in with a full buy round for themselves. The AWP being given over to Oscar. And he is going to try and make an opening for them to just slide on in. mousesports have got a few rounds to win. They need 2 total. And Rops is going to open it up.
And through Squeaky and into the head of Yugi. Nice pick to start things off for mousesports, but it's not what Heroic want coming into this round. Oscar sits on top of the boost, looks towards the outside control to get a pick, but instead it's actually Sunny opening things up. Takes down S-Tag 1 by 1. Just mousesports are ripping apart Heroic. Snappy does respond, the top fragger for the team so far on the side of Heroic, but he drops down towards B with Nico alone on A. mousesports, wherever they split, there's only 1 man of defense, and they'll start to wrap the rafters. If Nico can defend this can maybe delay the push in for mousesports, but Stiko grabs the kill, and this should be the round done and dusted. Snappy already looking to just hold on to this gun. As mousesports, they're late with the bomb, but they found the 4v1. And Snappy just looking to hold on to this AWP.
Maybe looking for some exit frags if he thinks there's a player going into heaven, but yeah, he's just going to be on ramps, moving towards radio room, so looking for exit frags. It seems to be that's what he's going for. Remember, Heroic have a really large economy and a bankroll to sustain them, and doing as much damage as they can to mousesports is actually really important here. So potentially just going in and trying to find those faces is more important to them right now than trying to save their AWP, because they've got the money and they don't have the rounds to play with. They need to do as much damage as possible. Yeah, exactly that, right? Because even if... Ooh, what was that? Even if Heroic, you know, if Snappy saved there, it doesn't make a massive difference in the long run, right? Because as soon as they run out of money, they lose the game anyway. You know, it's not a thing about saving. You know, Heroic are buying up until they lose the game. Then we're not going to see an eco from Heroic. We're going to see a buy until mousesports pick up 1 more round. Every single round Heroic are buying. So yeah, it doesn't really matter too much on the save. They can afford to reinvest in the AWP on Yugi. And now we're going to see if Heroic can come back in with a reset. If they can, back in the game. If not, out of the map. mousesports 15-7. Same boost up from Oscar. He didn't really do anything in the previous round, but he didn't need to. It was Rops and Sunny mainly to open things up, and they look to do the same thing again in lobby.
Heroic, they're not giving them an opportunity as they play passive. Utility going in here for the CT side as they just look to avoid any challenge here against mousesports. Play passive on this A-bomb site.
Holding slightly more passive on the outside. Yugi will be on Overwatch with that AWP, waiting for them to turn the corner. Will spot ahead, and he just takes it clean off with a nice flick. Sunny just showing a sliver of the skull, and that's going to be enough for them. Chris J taken very low as well. Means that mousesports already at a deficit, and Heroic looking to get this reset, looking to try and push it to overtime now. So if they get this one, they will be at 8 rounds, but that's still a very long way to go. This performance, though, looking pretty hopeful.
This could be a lifeline that Heroic really need. But at least mousesports have guaranteed OT, so at the very worst, if it really does come to it, we'll be seeing that at 16k MR3 here on Nuke. They don't want it to go that far again. They got a strong half, but you've got to admit at least the early start of the strong half for mousesports pretty much just came off the back of that 1v3 clutch that we saw from Chris J. Without that, Heroic had their first CT side round, and that's when, sorry, T side round, and that's when you start to see things just, you know, build up in terms of economy. Heroic could have potentially had a closer first half, but it was just off of the back of the Chris J clutch that I think just really tilted Heroic and kind of let everything go their way at mousesports, allowing them to get such a dominant 13-2 half. Obviously, going into OT, there's no guarantee that they can repeat the same way, so it's important mousesports close this out in regulation time. I honestly think if Heroic can bring this back to OT, they won the game, because mousesports got very lucky to be able to take that 13-2. Obviously, some skill to it, quite a lot of skill to it, but will they be able to repeat it again in OT? Very unlikely.
But mousesports just need one more round. Any sort of mistake coming from Heroic will be fatal here in this matchup. Nuke, obviously, the map they were looking to take home, so I don't know how this bodes for Mirage, but they have to finish out this map first before they progress. Looking for some more shots, as they're just looking for any sort of opening here. Mousesports still just taking some flak damage as they try and find those little niches that they can sort of push into and expand and try and push into something more to a round win. But Heroic not giving any ground, and all credit to them, they have been playing fantastically here on the CT side.
Yeah, not giving any chances for mousesports to get a pick, and already we've got these guys aggressive outside, but no CTs are facing them. Just letting them wrap in towards B, and that's when the fight will come down. Heroic know their rotations are on point on this map. Stiko, nice flashbang, but S-Tag's going to look away in the nick of time, and he takes the kill. Unluckily for him, though, Oscar trades, but Yugi will pull things back down on ramp as he shuts down Rops's lurk. Rotation in from Modi, will spot one, and again, Yugi supports, again, hitting shots with this AWP as you would expect him to do, but it's Chris J to strike in through hell and falls back as a result. Doesn't go any further than he needs to, and that was dangerous because Modi's coming in, and he will be able to trade. And trades in the favor of Heroic are already good enough as Oscar is stuck on a 1v3. Nico close in the hut, but Oscar's going to hit the shot, and with that wrap down towards B, he might be able to get the plant, but he's got a player hot on his heels.
Plant under the walkway means that he won't be spotted out immediately, but look up, my friend, because you have got a player right there, and it's Snappy to close out that kill. Grabs the AWP, goes for the diffuser. Now Heroic put that 9th round on the board, and you were saying double digits is the point where you think we're going to overtime.
No, I said double digits is the point where I believe this is a possibility here for Heroic, or a probability.
A probability.
Definitely no guarantee.
But at this point, nothing's a guarantee.
No, all it takes is one mistake for Heroic. That's the thing. As soon as they lose the opening couple of picks, and then you take a 5v3 on T side Nuke. Good luck pulling them back as a CT side. Your players are so split up, and it's so hard to trade on this map anyway that the mousesports will be in with a great shot. And we've already seen they got their 15th round off the back of a double opener from Oscar and Chris J. So, oh sorry, Oscar and Sunny. No, Rops and Sunny. Who am I even saying? It was Oscar outside with the AWP on that round, and he didn't find anything. But yeah, this time mousesports no money to play with. It's Heroic, just a whole passive. And they just spot them running into A main and shut them down. S-Tag with 2, Yugi with 1. They expect the push coming in from Squeaky as well. And Rops gets 1, but Nico will pull it back. So 10 rounds for Heroic. This is where things get real. Take into account this is a 13-2 half with mousesports even getting the pistol in their favor. And look at what Heroic have done.
Mousesports, of course, having secured that overtime, they're just going to be waiting, biding their time, trying to find those openings, and again, they're back onto the full rifle round. Chris J back on the AWP. They've got the rifles across everywhere. As obviously, on the full loss bonus, you're going to be sort of alternating with the save, the buy, the save, the buy. They're looking for this aggressive sort of setup, but mousesports cannot find it. Heroic just holding so strong every single time. They just cannot pick it up. And Chris J actually swapping the AWP out onto Oscar. So looking to change that one up, but Yugi's playing aggressive up from ramps, and he's going to find Rops for it. A flick shot, not quite doing anything there, but Heroic already have the man advantage. But outside now, looking to be the focus of the aggression from mousesports, taken back as well, but they have nowhere to go.
See, this is the thing. Even though that push from Yugi works out perfectly, if that fails, mousesports are in the chance to just close out the map here. So it's so risky. As we were saying, all it takes is one mistake from Heroic, one missed bullet from, you know, Yugi in that situation, and suddenly mousesports are poised perfectly to close out this map. But he gets away with it, so props to him. Let's see if he can carry on. These players are already outside, but they haven't crossed further, and Yugi catches the jumping Oscar. He goes down, AWP dropped and time ticking away. mousesports just charge into B, but there's already defense here. Moddy's having rotated down on the stairs, and he's just going to be holding off against these three players. Spots the tip of the heads, and he will tap down onto them. Stiko dead, Sunny trades, but again, trades in a 4-on-2. It's so favorable for Heroic. They don't even mind playing the man down because, again, they have so much money to play with on the CT side, and Snappy comes in, stopping the bomb and leaving Sunny alone. This shouldn't be doable, especially not with 9 HP.
Sunny just not watching the angle. That planter was there. Sunny was playing in the control room. He needed to be out there watching that vent position because he just got completely punished. If he was there to go for that frag, that could have gone completely differently because two players were pushing on there. Two players could have gone down to a spray from Sunny, and he just wasn't there backing up his teammate. The communication not quite on board for mousesports. Heroic now on 11 rounds, and mousesports take another tactical pause. They have been absolutely flagging now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how close this game is getting, and how Heroic have brought this back. 13 rounds on the CT side for mousesports. They won the pistol to get 14, and they won their first rifle round to get 15. Yet they still haven't closed it out. Heroic have surmounted a almost impossible comeback to 11 rounds. Again, still a little bit more to go. But at this point, if they're playing off the back of momentum, like mousesports did exactly the same on the CT side, this is definitely an overtime possibility for Heroic, and at this point I think we're going to go to OT, as surprising as that may seem. mousesports need to find something, because their T-side so far has been abhorrent. Only pistols again, giving another opportunity for Heroic to find technically what should be a free round here. Can't afford to lose too many players. They don't want their money to fall apart in the last few. We've been seeing damage done by mousesports, bringing some of these rounds close, but not close enough. As the flashes go out on the A side, we see a drop down vents, but Yugi catches out the first kill, and yeah, one by one, again, Heroic just catching out these players.
They will get the plant on the B-bomb site. They did drop down fast to vent, but a lot of money invested, and Yugi just closes that one out. So 3 kills for him, a bit of an eco bash. Bomb gets defused, and Heroic put another round up on the board. mousesports will be able to buy here, though. But and all they need is one, so Heroic having loads of money doesn't really matter at this point, because obviously they're just going to be full on putting all of their cash into this one for mousesports. They are looking to come up away here, and if they lose this one, they're looking at a 15-14 scoreline. Yeah,
that's just after the eco. So bomb plant pretty much necessary coming into these rounds. Obviously, they've been on max loss for an eternity at this point, so it's just down to those bomb plants giving them the extra cash. But again, that means they don't have an AWP in play, and utility won't be great either. Something very important on Nuke. I don't know why we haven't seen like an A burst play from mousesports on these buys. They're typically very successful, but this time they've got Sunny down B already very fast. Oscar gets a pick towards outside. Could this be it for mousesports? Sunny's positioning as well is crucial, because I don't think Heroic actually realize this. They've got Yugi down on B, but again, mousesports have a thorn in the side of Heroic potentially.
Setting up, they have the opening now, so they need to figure out where they've rotated their player away from, because they can exploit that. That's something that is really, really useful to an aggressing team. mousesports finding where that CT is now lacking can be exploited very, very heavily. Pushing themselves into that gap and trying to just give it some breadth and give it some impact. Heroic just passive holding, not giving anything more away, and they're going to be able to take the frag because mousesports are going to push into them, but it's fragged back in return. Ooh. Yugi finds one, but the return yet again. Now, 2 players left alive for Heroic. No. Sunny nearly finds the spray. The bomb does get planted, so now 2 players for Heroic. They need to get this defused. They need to go for the retake if they want to be in with a chance of coming back and bringing it to overtime.
And everyone was on the wrong side of the map. Now they have to retake back up A, but Robs is holding the ladder. He takes down Modi. Now it's all onto Yugi. Quick shot lands onto Sneeko, who was already low, and he spots a second player in rafters as well, knows exactly where Rops is, but he's playing the angles perfectly, and he takes him down. Yugi misses a shot, and this is what we talked about. All it takes is one missed shot, and Heroic lose the map. That's going to be 16 rounds found by mousesports. They close it out in due course. It takes a few rounds, but they get it on that second half, and I was getting a little bit worried. I thought that we were going to see OT, but I'm impressed at mousesports taking the map away from Heroic regardless. Again, this is something that Heroic have been very good at, playing Nuke obviously as of late, so to see mousesports get away with that after, you know, having about a 50% win ratio on that map, at least recently, is good. And obviously going forward into the second map, now got to be confident.
Yeah, Heroic much more confident on Nuke than they are on pretty much every other map. Taking the loss there after such their namesake Heroic attempted a comeback, they're not going to be too happy with that one. So Mirage is going to be very, very tricky for them. Obviously, both teams very, very strong. We saw that they do have the skills when it comes down to it. They do have the ability to come back into these things, but they just need to step up and really sort of bring that one home. So they're going to be looking forward to Mirage. So are mousesports, and mousesports are going to be very confident moving into this. I'm predicting that mousesports will take it home. I'm pretty sure most everyone else is.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. After that performance as well, especially in the first half, I mean, forgetting the whole comeback from Heroic and forgetting how they brought it back to a close game, if we just look at that first half from mousesports, they were performing on point, 13-2. Dominant CT side, weren't giving Heroic an inch. And yeah, just a great performance from mousesports across the board. And obviously,